Hello everyone, I wanted to just make a small video to go back to what Achieve 3000 looks like for the students and what we expect them. I did put the PowerPoint of what we used on Thursday for where you can get more information about what we did for Achieve 3000. So just to give you a quick review, students are expected to be at the 420 to a 650 at the end of the year. Also, if your student has a BR in front of their number, it's called the beginning reader, which is more of a negative number, and that they need to be able to take that BR out and then go from there, go to the 0, and then go ahead and then try to achieve to get closer to that 420 we want by May. And this is for both languages. We do expect, of course, first their primary language to be at this range by the end of the year, and we want that secondary language, which is mostly the Spanish, to be close enough that they are not too far away for when they get to 3rd grade. They can be closer to that range rather than having a big gap from 2nd grade to 3rd grade. For those students that have from 0 to 150, they're called developing readers, and anyone that has 150 and lower, their Lexile level will stay the same until the next level set, which is in December. So please continue to practice with them, read with them, have them read out loud to you, have them to read twice to refer back to the article. I'll go over a few things on the website that we went over also, but just to motivate them and maybe, congratulate them whenever they get that high 100% or 75%. So anyone that is 155 or higher, their Lexile growth could change monthly. So that's how depends on how they are answering their questions, 75% or higher on their first try. So if their first try they're getting 100 and 100, and this is all amazing. Their monthly Lexile level could change. So what we target at school is for students to complete 2 to 3 articles a week. So we want that 75% or higher to be also, so we require that also at school. So mainly we want at least 8 articles to be completed per month for students' Lexile could grow. The Lexile change is from 8 to 3, so the school hours. We focus on, helping them out, making them think, making them understand the wordings, and to really dig deeper into the article than just having that, who is it, but instead of what is the main idea, what is the purpose, what is the opinion. So during the break, fall break, winter break, spring break, or any 3-day weekend, we do highly encourage students to work on Achieve from the hours to 8 to 3, because that could help them change their Lexile level. And so we encourage that to be done, any time of break. Saturday or Sunday is not part of the plan because it's not a school day. And so quarter 2, we are going to be giving homework, 1 article a week and 1 activity. The activity is the questions. So that will be our expectation starting 2nd quarter. So with the program in general, this is what, if your student logs in, this is what normally they will see. On the top left, you can see that there's an arrow, and students can change it to either language. So in case they clicked on Spanish and they're like, oh, I want to go to English, they can go ahead and go to English. And as if you can see also, the articles are the same, so just the same one that popped up in the front here, the same one that pops up in the front with English. One of my recommendations is if students want to read the article first in English and do their activity, that is awesome, and then they can go actually to the same article in Spanish and then just read it, and they have a foundation of what the article is saying, for they won't struggle as much. So I'm going to go into the lesson. So one of the things that we require students to do, let me just go into English for I can get the titles correctly. So we would say start lesson. So yes, it's a lot of activities and tabs to do. So one of the things that we require for second grade is to mainly do the article. The article is the reading that they have to do. So they should be reading anything and then go ahead and tab on the next arrow. They should read it and go on to the next one. And then at the end of the reading, it goes activity. Before the activity, I highly suggest that students look at the vocabulary over here on the right, and they can either press the play button, and with the play button,
arrest. Verb. To take in someone who may have broken a law.
So they can get it to read
arrest.
to them, and then you can press the box, the stop button, and it can read to them. With the activity, those are the questions, and so some students will be having 8 questions, some students will be having 4 questions. There also is a button that says refer to the article. The article will pop up. Everything that they read plus the vocabulary will pop up in case they need to go back to their reading when they're answering their questions. Another recommendation that I do in case you want the students to not be clicking back and forth, there's a print button here. You can go ahead and print this step. Oh, actually you would print the article because I feel like that's mainly one page that you would print and it won't be as much papers. So you can print the article out and then they can actually have it in front of them while they are answering their questions, and this will be easier for them to really dig deep into what the question is asking. So what happened first, they can go back and actually maybe highlight what happened first, and you can also help them out to break down the article and how to figure that out. Another thing that we went over during our Achieve Night is how to access this homework. So the homework is going to be mailed to them in their mailbox, or in Spanish it's going to be buzón. Here you can see that Teacher Morrison, or you would have my name, Teacher Sotomayor, if you're in my class. We sent them articles. So Miss Morrison sent them an English article, Trains in Trouble. So normally we give a small message and then they would press the title of Trains in Trouble and it takes them to that article. So that would be how you would access the homework. And also the same thing, normally the Spanish title would be from me, the Spanish teacher. So they would do the same thing. They would have to transfer to the Spanish Achieve window where they can actually answer the questions in Spanish instead of, as you saw, it was in English. So this is their Spanish article that they would have to complete during homework. As for accessing their level, so if either you want to know if they are progressing or how they're doing, you would first start, let me just go back to English, you would first start with resources. So in resources, there's a tab called Career Center. You would go on that tab, and this is for students in case they want to start knowing what do they want to do. So in case they want to go into education, maybe they want to be a coach. So they would click on coach, and then you would go find careers. So in find careers, it tells them, oh, if you want to be a coach, you should be reading at this level. And of course, this is more towards middle school or high school level, but right here you could see their current Lexile. So their current Lexile right here for this student is 220, and their career goal is 1,360. And so anytime you really want to make sure, or want to know or forget what their Lexile levels, that is what it is. And you would do the same thing for Spanish. So for Spanish, you would go into Recursos, Centro Laboral. From Centro Laboral, you would also just pick anything at career, so Consejero Escolar maybe they want to be a counselor at school, and then they would go into, it gives them a brief paragraph of what that career is, and they tell you what Lexile you should be reading. And this is 210 is this student's Lexile in Spanish. So anything with that, you would always go to Career Center or Centro Laboral with that. Lastly, I just want to make sure that students, sometimes they don't want to read about the government or things that we're going over. Maybe they're interested in dinosaurs, interested in cars. Maybe they're interested in animals. So they can actually go to the search button. During the search, you can maybe put animals. So maybe they're interested in animals. So animals, and here's everything that is accessible to them about animals. So maybe they want to know, why are they selling zoo animals? So they can go ahead and just search anything. This program is non-fiction, which is only informative text. As also we said in our PowerPoint, that the readings are differentiated. So the level that the student is at is what the reading will be for them. So the reading is just for them specifically because of their level. So whenever their level gets higher, maybe you will see more reading on the pages, and if their Lexile decreases, you'll maybe see less or maybe even different vocabulary words that changes. The text is rigorous, and it's based on that. If it could increase, the Lexile level could increase when progress is detected. So we don't really change their Lexile level. It's all about how they're answering their comprehension questions, how they're doing it in their first try, and just their level, their percentage getting correct on their comprehension activity questions. So thank you very much for listening on to this video. If you have any more questions, we are happy to help you out. We are not experts at Achieve 3000, just we keep learning every year as we get trainings, as we learn from other teachers, as we learn from even our students, as they are the ones that are going more into this program. So if you have any more questions, or if you know anything new that maybe I didn't discuss, or maybe you want to share with everyone, I would love for you to comment or add anything. So thank you very much.